Hey there, Dr. Benedetto here. I wanted to shoot this short video quickly. It's a question I get all the time, and it'll be explained on the obviously on the document below here. But it's a question I get all the time is describing my process. Like, okay, how do we like what's the procedure? What do we do to identify the root causes of my Hashimoto's and get a treatment plan in place to get me better? I get that question like all the time. So it's all spelled out kind of here on the doc below. But what I also want to do is kind of walk you through the process just a few minutes, which I think will really help to crystallize everything that you're going to see. So here's the deal. This is what everybody's looking for, right? People come to me and they're looking for a plan. Like I need, for me, personalized Hashimoto's recovery plan. That's what they're looking for. And there's one of three problems that I see people struggling with, okay, that I try and solve with my plan. Okay. Number one, and I'm sure you've heard this before, is now this is if you've been diagnosed, obviously, right, with Hashimoto's. So my doctor is not even listening to me. Like all they're doing is treating my blood work. They're looking at my TSH. They're prescribing meds based on that. And if my TSH isn't even out of range, they're not prescribing anything. They're not doing anything, right? So the doctor's not treating the patient. They're just treating their labs, basically, right? So what do we have to do? We have to, and you got to find a doctor, and you're listening to one right now, that is focused on treating you, treating the person, and not just the blood work. The blood work's important, right? But it's not everything. Okay. There are three steps that I take my patients through as we do this, right? Number one is what has been your previous healthcare prescription? Like what have you gotten up until this point, right? And we need to evaluate that. We need to dig deep on some of that stuff. We need to fix all the medical failures that you've already been through, right? Nobody's helped you do anything. Again, they're not providing any solutions. They're treating your labs and dosing your medications. We have to fix those things. We have to plug up that bucket, okay, the holes in that bucket. And it starts with a real uh, aggressive and detailed history on the front end, right? So I use things like scorecards and all kinds of little tricks of the trade that I've used for a long time to really assess someone where they're at right now. I call this my Benedetto bedside manner um, on purpose. So, like it rhymes, obviously, with my last name, which is nice. But um, the bedside manner is gone. It doesn't exist in medicine anymore, and we need to bring it back, right? So once we can get through all that, then I can develop a plan for someone, right? A personal plan. Now, the second problem that people come to me with is, listen, I know I need to figure out my root causes. Like, what are the root causes of my Hashimoto's? Is it foods? Is it nutrient deficiencies? Is it hormone imbalances? Is it adrenals? Is it environmental toxins? Is it chronic infections? Is it all of the above? Right? And people come and they're like, I don't know what they are. And I really don't know where to start to figure them out. Right? So, which we have to. We just have to, right? So, to fix that, we need to figure out your root causes. Okay, there are a couple of tests that I usually recommend that are part of my protocol, as you'll see. Number one is a DNA genetic health profile. I have my patients do Ancestry.com's test and because it's cheap and we can get all the DNA data. And then I can take the data once it's available, once the results are ready, I can take the data and we're looking at medically relevant genetics, things like MTHFR mutations. And you've probably heard of some of these things before, DAO and all these different kinds of mutations that someone can have that could be an underlying cause. We can't change them, but we need to figure them out so we can deal with them. Super specific to the person, right? Nobody else has your DNA. So it's very tailored, very specific healthcare, to be honest with you. The other thing I love is something called a Dutch Complete test. Okay, it's Dutch Complete hormone testing. I love this test because it's three tests in one, and it tells us things that we can't readily see usually on regular blood tests, right? So it looks at hormones, so it looks at all the hormone stuff, right? Sex hormones. And we can measure things like methylation activity, which ties back into the MTHFR stuff. And we can look at adrenals, and we can look at something called organic acids, which is nutrient deficiencies, neurotransmitter imbalances. So a bunch of different metabolic indicators. We can do all of that on one test, three tests in one, basically. So we do those tests right out of the chute, on top of any other kind of functional labs like blood work. Like if we can see things on blood work, like a vitamin D deficiency, there's no need to do a fancy test. I do the DNA and the Dutch, with the labs. Again, looking for root causes. And that's going to give us clarity. Then we know, now we got all the cards on the table, right? So now we know of all the possible things that it could be, what is it for you? It's going to give us clarity on what your root causes are, which is then going to lead us to, okay, how do we address these things, right? So that gives us a nice crystal clear path now moving forward and things to go back and check, right? So we can go back and fix these things and then go back and check them, right? The third problem and the last leg of the triangle here, as you can see, that people come to me for, right? And they come to me with is I know I got to make diet changes. I know there's supplements I probably have to take. I know there's lifestyle stuff I have to do. I don't know what that is. Like, I don't even know where to start with foods. I don't know what foods to eat. I don't know what foods not to eat. I don't know what supplements to take. So, what do we have to do? Right? So, by the time someone's done with me, they know exactly what to do. They know exactly what foods to eat, what foods to not eat, what supplements to take. Okay. And there's a process, again, a three-step process by which we do that, just like you're seeing here. We need to align your code. What is your food alignment code? What are the foods that align with you? Right. So we do that with an AIP protocol, right? Starting with an AIP protocol where that first 30 days we eliminate all these foods, anything that could be a problem, right? And then I prescribe some very specific nutritional supplements while we're doing that elimination part of the diet to go in and start healing things, decrease inflammation, calm down the immune system, support thyroid function, fix people's gut, detoxify their body, liver support, those kinds of things. And then we're going to gradually reintroduce foods into the diet over time. So we're going to personalize what your diet, nutrition, and lifestyle is going to look like, right? For the future, right? So in the short term, we want relief, and then we want to figure things out long term for remission, right? The goal there, I call that my Hashimoto's healing path, right? So that's what you're looking at right now. The goal there, obviously, is symptom relief really quick, right? We want weight loss. I want 50% improvement in someone's symptoms in the first 30 days of treatment. So that's huge. And then we take the next couple of months. You can see this is over 90 days, right? I call it my 90 days to Hashimoto's healing. So so we do the initial work with the bedside manner. We do some testing for root cause identification and clarity on that. And then we jump right into an AIP protocol. First 30 days, I want 50% improvement. We want symptom relief in the short term, right? Clean house, clean the slate, get someone healed up, get someone fixed up. And then we're going to get test results back. We're going to need to reintroduce foods over the next couple of months. That's kind of where we usually get to the 90-day mark. So that way we can build that long-term remission plan. Okay. So that's what you're seeing on this document below is this all laid out. Okay. So when you look here, I'll show you. So when you look here, right, hopefully this is showing. Um, that's what I'm describing here. So all the things that you see here, right, who this is for, what we're going to solve, right? Here's the problem we're going to solve. It's all the issues that we're dealing with. Then when you see the game plan right here, here's those three steps you just saw in that triangle. Root causes, AIP protocol, long-standing remission, right? These are all things that we want and how we're going to specifically do this for you, right? So as part of this protocol, you get, a one-on-one appointment with me right out of the chute. We're gonna get together. We're gonna map all this out for you. You'll get I have a private community you'll get access to. You may already have access to it by this point. Um, where everything is located, everything you need, meal plans, recipes, my help, right, for messaging, and you can message me privately in there for assistance. I have a curriculum all laid out. You follow the videos. It shows you how to do everything, how to, what foods to eat, what foods not to eat, how to take the supplements, things like that. You'll have direct access to me once a week, at least. At this point, I'm doing once a week. I'm probably going to add some, but um, I have office hours. I'm there inside the group live, just like you're going to visit your professor in college, right? Yep, I have office hours. You come. They're usually like one-off sessions. Like I'll meet with someone 5, 10 minutes, get them take squared away, answer questions, then the next person. So you get office hours where you'll get direct access to me. Again, you can message me directly as much as you need to through the group with questions, email as well. I've got all things done for you, right? What to eat, what not to eat, supplements, all this kind of stuff. So you don't have to worry about all this stuff. It's taken care of, as you'll see as you scroll down through this document. So I thought it would just be easier for me also to make this video to kind of help give some clarity around like okay, what's this protocol? What are we doing? What's the point? Why does it all work? How does it all work? Just because I get this question so many times. So I hope this was helpful for you to help you understand kind of what we're doing and why we're doing it and how this protocol that I've developed over the last, 15 years, why it works so well. And it does, and it works really well. And because it's going to solve those problems, we're gonna dig in on your previous history and your healthcare prescription prior. We're gonna fix all that stuff. We're gonna plug up all those holes. We're gonna figure out root causes. We're gonna implement an AIP protocol. So it's gonna figure out the cause and get it treated. Short-term relief, long-term remission. That's what you're looking at here. I will walk you through it and I will help you do it. Okay? Any questions, let me know. Go ahead and scroll down, check out the document here. Any questions, let me know. When you're ready to rock, let's do it. Let's get to work and let's help get you healed up and let's get you well. And I'll be looking forward to hearing from you and seeing you on the inside of the protocol.